Hello everyone and welcome back to Deinfluenced, the spot where my goal is to get you guys to think critically about where you're currently spending your social media currency. And I do that by revealing the truth behind the highlight reels of today's popular influencers. Today guys, I'm gonna be real with you. My brain's a little fried. I just got done filming 2 videos, log off, shut everything down, and got tagged in a Drew video. She's officially taken her gestational diabetes test, and they decided to make a mockery of it, because of course they did, because they're trash. So we're gonna talk about it. Let's go, guys. Alright guys, so like I said, onto Reddit, check my notifications, got tagged in something. Whoa, what did I get tagged in? Let me go take a sneaky peeky. And it is the video of Drew taking her GD drink and them just making total asshats of themselves as usual. So let's start by watching the video, and then I want to talk some really important talk about gestational diabetes. There is a ton of misinformation flying around out there, and I want to clarify because I think it's really important to provide the right information in this case, because it is a life-changing disease and very hard to manage, and and it's dangerous if it's mismanaged. So let's pull up the video first. You guys can take a peeky and let's talk about it.
Really? How you feel, baby? We got a few minutes left on your little drink stuff timer, and then you're gonna be giving blood.
Okay, so seriously though, if that's delicious, I know exactly how sweet she takes her shit.
We'll see if you got the beaters or not. I don't think you do. You got the beaters?
No. I got the egg beaters.
Yo, I like egg beaters, boy. 15 minutes left on your drink timer thingy, Wayne.
Guys, that juice was delicious. It tasted, and Ivory loves it. She's kicking me.
Because it's full of sugar.
I know, I love sugar.
No, really?
And I won't get my results till tomorrow, but I'm really excited. I'm feeling really good.
You're beautiful.
I'm just sleepy.
Sleepy right here. Good night.
So I just there's so much. So let's check out what Reddit has to say about it, and then maybe I'll form some cohesive sentences, because I have a lot. There's a lot going on the inside. Laughing at diabetes. It's life-threatening. It sucks, and they laugh at it in mockery like it's a fucking joke. Straight trash ass humans. I am a type 1 diabetic myself, and this quite literally made me so upset. My 5-year-old is. He was diagnosed at 13 months. This makes me want to punch her. Oh, and the difference between you and Gabe is Gabe probably is diabetic, and he caused it. Type 1 is an autoimmune disease. Definition of white trash. Gabe is 100% diabetic. They should have tested him while they were there. So insensitive. And Gabe saying, I don't think you have it. Like, how TF would you know? Exactly. She's mocking the TTC pregnancy community. Now she's mocking people who have diabetes. They've mocked the BLM movement. They've mocked people with disabilities. They've mocked SA and DV victims. Can't get much better than the Trashams. This needs to be blasted on social media. People need to see what trash her and big boy Gag are. This is awful considering what Sierra is going through. I can't stand Sierra either, but what kind of shitty sister-in-law celebrates like this? I don't know. It just really shows a level of immaturity and a level of disrespect and almost a level of common human decency has been lost, and what is socially acceptable versus socially unacceptable. And I was actually watching a video about this. Was it August the Duck, which is a really good channel, by the way, I recommend. And he was saying,
they're not fake, but I wonder. Oh my god, are you okay?
It seems like without fail, basically every other day, somebody goes viral for doing something insanely illegal while live streaming. The future of social media is really looking positive. For a while, we were dealing with the pandemic of Jack Doherty and his wannabe clones. We had to learn how to navigate through the world of public nuisance streaming, Twitch allowing people to whip out their titties, Twitch no longer allowing people to whip out their titties. Not too long ago, we watched that streamer Eliza Jordana beat a guy. We've seen a lot, but as has been made evident by a clip that went viral a couple of days ago, we have not seen everything. Yesterday, I saw a clip on Twitter of a streamer who goes by the name of Vegan Patriot run over somebody in her car while she was high and live streaming on YouTube. Now, obviously, this is not a funny situation. I want to go on record saying that it's not funny when people get hit by cars, okay? Don't twist my words. However, I do find it kind of hilarious that you can't even really consider this clip having gone fully viral. When I saw this on Twitter, it posted a few thousand likes. I saw a couple of videos when I about this yesterday. It became so far disconnected to what should be acceptable when live streaming on the internet that somebody hitting a person in the corner and calling it content. Oh, it's basically nothing more than a whatever.
It didn't even go viral, or it barely went viral, and people moved on from it. And it's insane that we've come to a point on the internet where we are so desensitized from this crazy stuff that it's just, we can, oh, this lady was live streaming and ran someone over, like whatever, did whatever. That's not normal. And for these guys to go online and, you know, open their mouths, period, and make a mockery of all these things, it's just, I don't understand why people defend them. Like, I don't get it. Unless you are also ableist, racist, and a shitty human being, I don't understand why you choose to defend them. If one of their followers has actually made it this far into the video, what am I at? I'm only 10 minutes of filming in, so we're only going to be about 5 minutes in. If one of her followers has made it this far, why do you defend someone who thinks it's okay to make fun of people with disabilities? Do you have a disability, or a child or a family member that suffers from a disability? If not, then I understand why you might see it as not a big deal. Please go educate yourself. Go check out the videos that I have made on it in the past. It is a big deal. Mocking stuff like this and telling other people that it's okay to make fun of stuff like this desensitizes the human brain. Now, I genuinely think the reason that they're talking like this and they're all like, la, 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 is an attempt to clap back at Reddit, because there's a lot of people on Reddit who are like, oh, she's definitely gonna have GD, she's definitely gonna get GD, blah, 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 she eats like shit, which doesn't cause GD. Okay, we're gonna go through it a little bit in a couple minutes here, but I feel like that's why they're making such a joke of it. Like, oh, it's not gonna happen to me, I'm young, I'm whatever. And honestly, she probably won't have it unless there's anyway, doesn't matter. I feel like the only reason that they're making a joke of this is because Reddit's like, yo girl, you're gonna get it if you don't smarten up on your diet intake. You're gonna end up with GD, which isn't necessarily true. Again, we'll go through it here in a second. I don't think that if they knew how it was caused, what causes it, kind of like the pathology behind it, I don't think that if they knew that they would be making a mockery of it today and joking about it and just being, oh, I don't think you have, oh, it's no big, being so casual about it. Although it's not something to fear going into it, the drink is disgusting. Don't believe her. It's the most sugary, sweet, heartburn-inducing thing you'll ever consume in your life. It's gross. The test itself isn't something to fear, but the concern should be there for everyone, because it is not caused by what you eat. It's not. It's caused by the placenta and the hormone and your body's inability to absorb glucose because of the hormones and placenta and stuff like that. It's just, it's really yucky. It's really yucky. So let's get into some diabetes education. Here's an article on gestational diabetes straight from the CDC website. Gestational diabetes is a type of diabetes that can develop during pregnancy in women who don't already have diabetes. Every year, 2% to 10% of pregnancies in the US are affected by GD. Managing GD will help make sure you have a healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby. It affects your baby. What causes GD? GD occurs when your body can't make enough insulin during your pregnancy. So the hormones in your placenta basically like stop insulin from being made. Insulin is a hormone made by your pancreas that acts like a key to let blood sugar into the cells in your body for use as energy. During pregnancy, your body makes more hormones and goes through other changes, such as weight gain. These changes cause your body's cells to use insulin less efficiently, a condition called insulin resistance. Insulin resistance increases your body's need for insulin, which means you're not producing enough insulin. All women have some insulin resistance during late pregnancy. However, some have insulin resistance even before they get pregnant. They start pregnancy with an increased need for insulin and are more likely to have GD. Symptoms and risk factors. It typically doesn't have any symptoms. Your medical history and whether you have any risk factors may suggest to your doctor that you could have GD, but you'll need to be tested to know for sure. Preventing type 2 diabetes. About 50%, listen to this, of women with GD go on to develop type 2 diabetes, but there are steps you can take to prevent it. Talk to your doctor, how to lower your risk, and how often to have your blood sugar checked to make sure you're on track. So that was one thing personally that was super devastating to me because it does run in my family, type 2, not gestational diabetes that I know of. It also sets the baby at higher risk for developing type 2 diabetes later in life, especially if it wasn't well managed during pregnancy. The more mom's blood sugar spikes and the more she goes into an elevated state and the longer she remains in an elevated state, well, it can affect development and stuff like that, but it also puts the baby at higher risk for developing type 2 diabetes in the future. And like that just sucks. And it made me really sad for my son when I learned that, because I was like, great. It kind of feels like you already failed them before you even started and it's something completely out of your control. It sucks. Having gestational diabetes can increase your risk of high blood pressure during pregnancy. It can also increase your risk of having a large baby that needs to be delivered by C-section. Could you imagine Gru after a C-section? Oh my God, it would be awful. If you have GD, your baby is at higher risk of being born very large, which can make them more difficult to deliver, being born early, which can cause breathing and other problems, having low blood sugar, and developing type 2 diabetes later in life. Your blood sugar level will usually return to normal after your baby is born. However, about 50% of women with GD go on to develop type 2. You can lower your risk by reaching a healthy body weight after delivery. Visit your doctor and have your blood sugar tested 6 to 12 weeks after your baby is born, then every 1 to 3 years. So testing will be between 24 and 28 weeks. You take the drink, you take some blood. If it's a positive, then you go back, you take a drink, you wait longer, you take some more blood, and if it's a negative, then you're good to go. Prevention. Before you get pregnant, you may be able to prevent GD by losing weight if you're overweight and getting regular physical activity. Don't try to lose weight if you're already pregnant. You'll need to gain some weight, but not too quickly for your baby to be healthy. Talk to your doctor about how much weight you should gain for a healthy pregnancy. So the treatment is checking your sugars, eating healthy food at the right time and the right amounts, following an eating plan created by your doctor or dietitian. So rough. Those mamas that had GD, like, comment down below. It's rough. Am I right? Like, it's not a fun disease to have, especially while you're pregnant, when you want to have like a little bit of an indulgence in like a donut or like a bowl of ice cream or whatever, you know? You can't do that. Sucks. If eating healthy and being active aren't enough to manage your blood sugar, your doctor may prescribe insulin, metformin, or other medications. So yeah, that's from the CDC. I just wanted to touch mainly on the fact that eating like crap doesn't cause GD. However, her habits that she has formed up until now and the amount of sugar she consumes and like just junk and fast food that she consumes, she does end up getting diagnosed with GD. It is going to be hell. And I guarantee she won't be able to upkeep the diet plan. I guarantee it, because it's rough. It's a hard one to keep up with, and you have to eat at very specific times every single day, certain amount of hours between. You have to have 3 meals, and if she keeps eating, the only person she's harming is her future health, but also her baby's health. Like, diagnosed for the first time during pregnancy, like other types of diabetes, it affects how your cells use sugar. Gestational diabetes that is not carefully managed can lead to high blood sugar levels. High blood sugar can cause problems for you and your baby, including an increased likelihood of needing surgery to deliver, a C-section. Complications that may affect your baby. Excessive birth weight. If your blood sugar level is higher than standard range, it can cause your baby to grow too large. Very large babies who weigh 9 pounds or more are more likely to become wedged in the birth canal, have birth injuries, or need a C-section. Early preterm birth. High blood sugar may increase the risk of early labor and delivery before the due date, or early delivery may be recommended because the baby is large. Serious breathing difficulties. Babies born early may experience respiratory distress syndrome, a condition that makes breathing low blood sugar, hypoglycemia. Sometimes babies have hypoglycemia shortly after birth. Severe episodes of hypoglycemia may cause seizures in the baby. Prompt feeding and sometimes intravenous glucose solution can return baby's blood sugars to normal levels. Yeah, that was a big thing. We actually had a type of medicine and it was like straight glucose. You give it to diabetics as well who are in hypoglycemic shock or like going into hypoglycemic shock. It was like this little gel that we give to babies after feeding them and stuff. I remember oh my gosh, it was awful. I came on shift and I had this couple and the baby was due for a blood sugar like literally right at 7, and I took the blood sugar and it was super low. The nurse that handed them off was like, "Okay, bye," and I was like, what do I do? So we fed the baby, and then within like 5 minutes of her eating, she threw it all back up, and I was like, well, looks like you're going to the NICU. Bye, guys. And we like couldn't get it, and then it was, I don't even remember, it was so long ago, but yeah, scary. That was not a pleasant morning. Not a pleasant way to start your shift. Babies have a higher risk of developing obesity and type 2 diabetes later in life or stillbirth. Complications that might affect you: high blood pressure and preeclampsia. GD raises your risk of high blood pressure as well as preeclampsia, a serious complication of pregnancy that causes high blood pressure and other symptoms that threaten both the life of you and your baby. Those are some pretty scary risk factors of mismanaged diabetes, and I just hope that if she does get it, she takes it seriously. But I know based off of her maturity levels, both of their maturity levels and stuff, and based off of also her being the enabler in the relationship, right? She's the one who, I want fries, so they go get fries. I want this, so they go get that. There's no way she's gonna be able to eat only whole grain, not a lot of carbs, tons of protein. Like, you can't even have breading on your chicken, for goodness sakes, because it can spike your blood sugar. And a lot of people are super sensitive to that. Every time you have fruit, you have to have a protein, which is healthy eating habits in itself. If you don't already have these healthy eating habits, you're not going to develop them overnight. You need to eat your square meals a day, and then you need to have 3 snacks. So this is interesting. This is basic meal planning. You need to eat or drink at least 12 carbohydrate choices a day. Most women need 14 choices to maintain the desired weight gain of 1/2 pound each. If you follow a vegetarian diet, you'll need 15 to 16 carbohydrate choices each day to get enough nutrients. For breakfast, choose 2 to 3 carb choices, 35 to 45 grams each, a protein, so meat, poultry, fish, egg, cheese, peanut butter, and a vegetable or fat freely. So you can have however much you want. At lunch, 3 to 4 carb choices, 45 to 60 grams each, so a bigger lunch. Protein and vegetable or fat freely. And then at dinner, 3 to 4 carb choices, also 45 to 60, protein, fat, or veg. And then for a morning snack, 1 to 2 carb choices, 15 to 30 grams each, and that's for all snacks, 15 to 30 grams. Protein and a vegetable or fat freely, and same with the other things. Carb choices includes fruit and starchy vegetables. Breakfast tips. Some women have a high fasting sugar, and if you have a high fasting sugar, I believe most of the time you'll probably end up on insulin, because that means your body's really not regulating and uptaking the glucose properly. And when you wake up, you need to basically wake up and eat right away, because you don't want your blood sugar to drop low, because that's a whole nother game of drop low, spike high, and you're just playing. So you want to keep it as consistent as possible. And after having fasted all night, you need to make sure to wake up and eat right away, because your body needs to maintain what blood sugar it does have. Blood glucose is hard to control in the morning when hormones that boost your blood glucose level are released. To help follow these breakfast tips, eat a smaller breakfast, so that's why it had less carbs. Eat whole grain bread products. Eat food that has protein. Do not eat cereal or fruit, and do not drink fruit juice at breakfast or any other time. Don't drink juice or pop or anything with sugar in it, basically. That was true too. No fruit before lunch. You include your fruit at lunch, because fruit is full of sugar. It spikes your blood sugar, but you still need the nutrients and nutrition that comes from fruit. So you pair it with a protein and a fat to help mitigate the in blood sugar, and you have your fruit alongside it. Make sure you measure your servings. 1/2 cup of the following vegetables is equal to 15 grams of carbs. One carb choice. So beans, corn, peas, potatoes, and yams. 1/2 cup of those starchy vegetables. You can have as many of these vegetables as you like. Feel free to pause here and take a screenshot or whatever. These are the free vegetables. You can have as much as you want. Protein is important for you and baby. It helps build cells, helps with growth, healing, hormones. Most pregnant women need 6 to 8 ounces of protein each day. Dried beans and lentils contain protein, but must be counted as carbs, which also sucked, because I was like, great, like I can't even have hummus, and it's a carb choice, and it's not a protein, and it's sugars and blood sugars, and I hate this. So these are your protein sources. Again, feel free to pause. But protein can help control blood glucose. Try to eat a protein with each meal and snack. Eat foods that contain protein with each meal. This will help you feel full, get enough protein, and control your blood sugars. That's what I was saying. So your fats give you energy and help your body absorb vitamins A, D, E, and K. It also gives you essential fatty acid, which helps your baby's brain and nervous system. So nuts, seeds, most nut butters, cooking oil, avocados, and fish. Artificial sweeteners. Avoid saccharin, sweet and low, or sugar twin. It's okay to eat 2 or 3 servings a day of food that are sweetened with these artificial sweeteners: aspartame, sucralose, and Okay. Many artificial sweetened foods contain more than one above listed sweetener. They are safe for pregnant, but not too much. Ask your healthcare provider. Yeah, and there was a big one too in the, I believe it's called the Magic Spoon cereal. What does it have? Anyway, we were told in our education class to avoid the Magic Spoon cereal because monk fruit. Maybe it's monk fruit. I don't know. That was super interesting to me though. Tips to remember: if you are hungry, add vegetables or protein food to your carb snack. Focus on eating healthful fats. If your blood glucose is high when you wake up, have a bedtime snack that includes both protein and carbs. This will help keep your blood sugar in check during the night. Don't drink alcohol while pregnant. Isn't this for gestational diabetes? Okay. Follow your healthcare provider's guidelines about caffeine. That's the basic meal planning. So it's very strict, it's very kind of regimented, and it's manageable. You can do it, you can get it done. I ate the same thing every day for the last 4 months or some, I don't know, whenever I got diagnosed, because again, I don't like cooking and I have no inspiration, and I was super overwhelmed and then had to completely change my diet, and it was crazy. And I don't eat enough protein as is. So then being told like you literally can't eat anything unless you eat protein, that was very overwhelming. I ate a lot of eggs. And cheese probably, because I love cheese. I wanted to go quickly through that. Drew and Gabe are dumb. They really are. I don't know. I assume they would lay low after recent events and kind of just like not open their mouths, and here they go again opening their freaking traps for everyone to hear. And it's ridiculous. Grow up. You're about to have a baby. It's time to grow up. And this is why babies shouldn't have babies. They are children who have had like literally zero life experience. Zero. They didn't even go to high school, or she didn't, or whatever. They drive me bonkers, but they're funny. They're funny to snark on, at least. Anyway, guys, this one's a bit of a shorter one. I hope you appreciate that. I wanted to get it filmed, and I'm gonna go try and edit it now and get it posted now. Cause yeah, I'll be on time for once for something. That's nice. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for tagging me in it. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. That's very much appreciated. I always appreciate the tags. Thank you. Hold on, let's go see who tagged me. Thank you, Anxious Negotiations, for the tag. I really appreciate it. If you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. I don't know, I had GD and I was super unprepared and super overwhelmed. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna film maybe a couple shorts with GD education. I'll make some GD education content, because I think it's really important to get proper, safe, reliable information out there from trusted sources, so that if hopefully her people come a knockin', they have the right information up their sleeve. But yeah, these guys suck, and they're never gonna not suck, and yeah. But at least they got some accountability served, or suffered some consequences of their actions, and they damn well better apologize for that mocking disabilities video, because I'm not gonna let it go until they do. And I hope you guys don't either. Seriously, keep the fire going. It's not enough to just have taken down the video, and we gotta keep the fire under the brand's butts, under their butts, to own up and apologize and tell your following that it's not okay. Regardless of if you used to think it was funny, we do the best we can until we know better, and then we do better. That's what's expected of you, especially as a public figure. As you learn more information, as you grow, as you develop, you own up to your past mistakes. We won't forget Drew and Gabe until an apology, a real apology, not another BS BLM one. Oh man, these guys and their wild immaturity is insane to me. Poof. I'm gonna leave it out here, guys. I do honestly hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like. Let me know what you guys thought about this, because you just think it's not gonna get worse, and then it gets worse, and you're like, how why? But I hope you are having a fantastic day wherever you are in the world, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.